I am excited today. This is going to be an awesome episode of the podcast. When was the last time you saw me with this much energy, this much excitement? It doesn't happen often, but the man, the myth, the legend, Bill Rex is coming back to the RV manufacturing side of the industry, and we should all be ecstatic. We should all be like, yeah, baby. Welcome to HB RV Lifestyle, the podcast. I'm the host, the Honey Badger, here to give it to you straight and transparent about the RV business, as well as some other things. Now, before I launch into this, I do want to say to Rev Group, smart move selling Lance Camper Corporation. You guys are better off sticking with Fleetwood Motorhomes, Monaco. You're doing a pretty good job at it. I'm not saying they're perfect. Anybody that owns one that has a bunch of problems, I understand. I'll get bashed in the comments section for that. Completely get it. But I think Rev Group should stick to the motorhome industry. Just like Winnebago years ago should have stuck to the motorhome industry. Not even gotten involved in towables. And the reason why is because there are certain niches that people are really, really good at. Okay, Winnebago for most of my career has been one of the top motorhome manufacturers in the industry, but ugly. Okay, extremely, extremely dated, but well built. And most of the manufacturing of the cabinets, the tanks, things of that nature on the motorhomes are all done in Forest City, Iowa. They don't get all that stuff from overseas. So it was one of those situations where when Winnebago originally said, we're going to become a towable manufacturer, I went, really? Really? Let me cross my eyes like, oh, what? And, you know, it was a joke, guys. I mean, it still is not, how do I put this? It's still not like where it should be. And then they went and bought Grand Design RV. And we all know what happened with that situation. And if you don't know what happened with that situation, well, just Google frame failure, frame flex lawsuit, and it'll help you out tremendously there to catch up. So for Rev Group to have an understanding that they are destroying and have been destroying one of America's best brands when it comes to truck campers and travel trailers, to recognize that it is not going to end the way they would want it to end, to sell it, to get it off the books and put it back in the hands of a private ownership group led by the tank master himself. You got to give credit where credit is due. Now, Bill, my man, I have not called you to congratulate you. Probably won't, because you can watch this podcast episode, because I'm pretty sure Andrew and Glenn are probably watching this podcast episode. Congratulations to my former employer and his buddy, because now they're on the manufacturing side of the industry as well as the retail side of the industry. I think that's a big move for that entire group of guys. I think that's a tremendously positive movement. I think bringing back Lance to its former glory might take a couple years. You got to rebuild the trust of the entire consumer base. But at the end of the day, this is the best move possible. This just goes to show you not everything has to be corporatized. That private equity groups, private firms, private owners can step into an industry and make it better. And Bill Rex, I'm going to tell you right now, here's the difference between Bill Rex and that investment group from Brinkley. Here's the biggest difference. Even though I have a feeling there's some things going on, I'm not going to get into that until I have more facts. But the biggest difference is Bill's going to build that thing. Bill's going to rebrand it. Bill's going to shove his foot right down everybody's throats and kick ass. He's going to be the part of Marine Recon. If you have not seen Heartbreak Ridge with Clint Eastwood, go watch that movie. Hoorah! They're going to kick ass, adapt. They're going to make it happen. I'm excited. This is a good thing overall for the entire industry. This is a good thing for the dealer base, the consumer base, the industry as a whole. Oh, I feel like, woo! Okay, now let's squash some rumors real quick. First of all, whoever in the hell now spreading the rumor about me that I'm going to go work for Camping World and that I'm going to be Camping World's next YouTuber, who in the Sam Blue hell decided to spread that rumor? I'm getting this morning. I wake up at 5 in the morning, as I kind of do, and I'm putting around doing short form content, putting stuff together for the week, try to figure out, okay, try to get some more consignments, try to get some more used stuff on the lot. And all of a sudden, I'm getting phone call after phone call after phone call. Hey, man, did Marcus convince you to become Camping World's corporate dealership YouTuber? Isn't that kind of hypocritical? I'm like, who the hell told you that? Seriously. I haven't talked to Marcus Lemonis in probably 3 years. 3 years. I think that's the last time I talked to him for about 4 minutes over the phone. That's it. Okay? Really? Who comes up with this stuff? I'm not working for Camping World, nor am I going to work for Camping World. First off, if any corporate type of structured dealership that's publicly traded wanted me to be their spokesperson, like a Josh the RV nerd type of thing or a Matt's RV review type of guy, first of all, let me say, the check you would have to write to convince me not to be me, probably bankrupt you, okay? Number one, because I'm going to be me. You could tell me you're going to pay me $3 million, $4 million a year, and I give you the middle finger. I'm going to be me, okay? I'm going to be who I am and what I am. That is what moves and processes this entire thing, right? But I want to squash that rumor. First off, Camping World has not contacted me. I have not spoken to Marcus Lemonis about being a corporate RV dealership YouTuber. Okay. I have not been contacted by Blue Compass. Okay. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands that if that were to occur, you guys would be the first ones to know. Period in a report. If I was going to go work for some large corporation and become their YouTuber, become their face of the franchise type of thing, then you guys would be the first ones to know. So I want to make sure to squash that, because the other rumor being spread by a real knucklehead shit for brains is that I get paid $250,000 a year by Forest River to bash his product. Really? Really? Do I look like I make $250,000 a year? Do I look like a guy that Doug Getter gets along with? I haven't even spoken to the man in probably 5 years. I spoke to Pete Legal when he was alive a lot more than I've ever talked to Doug Getter. I talk more to general managers and division leaders of every brand that I can get my hands on more than I ever talk to CEOs. Okay? So that's a negative. I do not get paid $250,000. And Mr. Corporate RV Dealership YouTuber that decided to piggyback on top of that comment on Facebook and say, oh, by the way, I can second that because I confirmed it from Forest River. You are so full of shit. It's not even funny. Now, spoiler alert, folks, because everybody assumed it was Brinkley. It's not Brinkley. Okay, I'm going to say that 100%. It was not anybody from Brinkley. So I want to squash that too. I'm not going to tell you who it was because it was in a private Facebook group. I'm going to assume by the time this podcast episode is released and by the time my live stream that I did yesterday kind of starts pushing its way through, I believe that post will eventually be taken down and the comment will go along with it. And everybody will deny it. Now, there's over 62 corporate RV dealership YouTubers. So I'll let you take a guess on which one of the 62 they are. I can eliminate 2 of them right off the bat because they're not going to do it. Matt's RV Reviews and JD from Big Truck Big RV. Yeah, no. Okay. But you could take a guess out of the other 60 other corporate dealership YouTubers that decide to piggyback on that and say, oh, yeah, I mean, he's such a prick and he's such a dumbass and he just, oh my God, and he picks on Brand so much. He never picks on Forest River. Are you kidding me? Look, guys, I'm going to tell you that I picked on Forest River so much, and I pick on Forest River a lot. Now, I pick on everybody. Probably the only real brand I don't pick on is Intech RV. I pick on Alliance. I love those boys. I still pick on them. I am a fan favorite. I am probably the biggest fan of Genesis Supreme RV, and I still give you negative news about Genesis Supreme RV. No one is immune. Guys I love to sell stuff for, guys I'm not a fan of, I give equal treatment to everybody because I believe that you should spend your money how you want to spend your money. You should not be spending your money on what I tell you to spend your money on. You should spend your money on things like for example, let's use Brinkley. We're going to use Brinkley as an example. Is Brinkley having a water intrusion problem? Yes. Are they having a wrinkled roof problem? Yes. Does every Brinkley that gets pushed out of the factory have those problems? No. Should you be aware of all the problems and that Brinkley is far from perfect, far from the best? Yes, you should know that. Should you not go buy a Brinkley? That's up to you. Okay? There are folks that love that sleek design. They do an amazing job with their use of space. They do an amazing job with lighting. They do an amazing job with storage. There are a lot of positives about Brinkley RV. I've told people the positives. Now, what I don't like is when people try to make themselves out as if they're the most innovative thing and the best thing ever. That pisses me off more than anything. And then to come online and in a video talk crap about me and other YouTubers is foul play, especially by someone when they're seeing a $200,000 car. Okay? But if you take all that out, is Brinkley RV, every Brinkley ever made, going to be an absolute piece of shit? No. Should you still go buy one? If you want to. If that's the product you feel matches everything on your list that you're looking for, if it matches what you want to live in this lifestyle as far as the RV lifestyle, then you should spend your money on it. But at least be well educated about what can go wrong, what has been going wrong, and what is going wrong currently. Okay? Don't believe a manufacturer. I don't care if it's Rockwood, Flagstaff, Keystone Cougar. I don't care if it's Gulfstream. I don't care if it's Genesis Supreme RV. I don't care if it's little sports coach in the middle of Nowhereville, USA. Do not believe somebody when they say they have a less than 1% failure rate. That is bullshit. Period. Do not believe anybody that wants to throw out percentages. You throw out a percentage, you're stepping yourself in dog doo-doo. Okay? Believe the person like Modern Buggy, Intech RV, that when a major problem comes up, they fix it. Alliance RV, if they don't know the answer, they're going to not give you a bullshit answer. They're going to say, okay, well, I mean, sometimes it sounds bad, but I got an email today from a guy that is having a problem with his Alliance, oh man, I can't remember the name of it. It's a fifth wheel. It's not a Paradigm. It's something else. And I guess they were having some issue with something, and I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. But they talked to the warranty manager over at Alliance, and the warranty manager was thrown off by the problem. And instead of creating some kind of BS thing, the guy said, I'm not sure if that's covered. Let me find out. Now, that doesn't sound good. Okay, but I'd rather have somebody say, I don't know, let me go find out, than somebody go, well, I don't think that's really a problem. Well, I think it's probably user error. Well, I think that, less than 1% of everything that comes out of a factory does this. I mean, I'd rather have somebody tell me, I don't know. And that's a fact of life. Okay. Now, at the end of the day, in the description box below, I have posted a lot of the Facebook groups I've created. that have major problems. Forest River, Coachmen, Brinkley, Alliance. No dealership and no RV manufacturer will be allowed inside those groups. So that way you feel free to share your story anonymously. So you don't have to go to Liz Amazing. You guys know I'm not going to give away your info. I'm making these groups because the emails are getting overwhelming. The communications are getting overwhelming. So if I have them in a group area where I can go and access them, it makes it easier for me to talk about rather than shifting through, 1,000 emails a day. Because it's not, I don't get 1,000 complaints a day, but I get brand offers, do this review, do that review. I get RV finance questions. I mean, it went from basically 3 to 4 emails a day to close to 1,000 a day. And they come from all over the bloody place. And that's not a bad thing. I'm actually enjoying it. Trust me, I try to answer everybody. And it's hard sometimes. I've had to use these AI assistants from Centra RV or Centra AI to actually answer a lot of the brand deal ones. I have it scrape all the websites and scrape through everything so I can shift through what's real, what's not, what's really an RV product, what's not beneficial for an RV product. I have it scraping through, if someone's got a question about a credit union that I don't know about, instead of having to go and research the credit union, I can have AI do it for me. So that's part of the reason why I've been getting so much into the AI stuff, is because you guys created the problem, which it's not a problem. It's actually a very positive thing. I'm glad to have your trust. I really am. I'm excited to have your trust. And at the end of the day, I'm excited right now because things are moving in the right direction in a lot of respects. Do we still have some knucklehead things going on? There's always going to be knucklehead shit going on. It's never going to stop. Okay. But that's why we have a backstop, right? And I'm going to say in a message to the manufacturers, okay, stop trying to make me an enemy. There are a couple of actual manufacturers that have started to use me as an ally rather than, oh, he's a blowhard. He's mean to me. Where? Really? And by the way, the manufacturers that are not beating me up, the dealerships that are not sicking their corporate RV dealership YouTuber after me, if you notice, a lot of them are growing, getting better. You could take a guess of which ones. Why? Because I'm not here to trash somebody. I'm not here for clicks and views. I'm here for education. And at the end of the day, if you don't want to be educated at how bad your product is on some of the things, you want to ignore it, you want to move on from it, you want to pretend it's not happening, go take a lesson from Winnebago when it comes to Grand Design frame failure and frame flex. It has been something that has been an issue for a while. And no matter how much people talked about it, you still acted like it wasn't happening. And now look what's going on. Do your research, do your homework. Not every RV ever built is a piece of shit. Not every Grand Design fifth wheel's frame is going to fail. Not every single fifth wheel ever built is going to have their frame fail. Those are all lies. Those are all figments of people's imagination. Was it a larger problem? And is it a larger problem than manufacturers want to admit? Of course. Is the Brinkley exterior seal innovative? Not really, but time will tell whether it's something that'll change the entire industry or not. Does that mean that every single Brinkley RV that's going to go out of the factory is going to leak and have floor rot? No. Fact of life, not going to happen. Is every Furrion air conditioner ever made going to freeze up and not allow you to open up your vents? No. So just realize there's balance to it all. The internet is a place for people to complain and a place to get educated. People who love their rigs, love their stuff, love their life, they don't go on the internet unless they want to make money. So just remember that. And until next time, remember, RV always stands for toolkit and sense of humor.